Back in the bed, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on.
What's going on, guys? It's Bryce from Fitz Records, and we're back with another video. In today's video, we are ranking all of the tracks on Logic's new album, debut independent album, College Park. Now, before I get into this ranking, if you want to see my full review of the album, boom, right up there. Make sure you check that out, a long, in-depth review. And, that was recorded about a week ago, so my thoughts have changed a little bit on a track-by-track basis. Hey, make sure you subscribe. Go in the description. Follow all my socials, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not tapping in. I got the Instagram, the Twitter. You got the New Music Friday playlist, you know what I'm saying? Got my TikTok. So make sure you tap in so you're not missing out on anything. Here's the tier list. As you can see, there is no F tier because I don't think any of these tracks are going to end up in F tier. I really don't. Some might get close, but there's not going to be any in F tier. I don't think there's songs that bad on the album, so this is going to be like a general comparison, not just comparing the tracks to like the album as a whole. Like if this is the worst track, it's automatically an F. That's not what we're doing here. We're just ranking them tier list style where each individual track lies, I believe. And also, we are disregarding skits. Skits do not exist according to me. They are just not in the play. We are not ranking skits at all. So this is just the music content. The music content is all you're rating here. So we gonna get right into it, starting here with the first track we're gonna go through in track list order, Cruising Through the Universe, featuring the RZA. Now, this track's cool. I like, putting the RZA on a guitar sample is fire, you know what I'm saying? And Logic's intro of him singing that he's cruising through the universe, I think is dope. I like Logic's vocal pitch changes throughout his verse. I don't think he's saying much of literally anything, but I get that the track itself takes place in a dream, as we would be told through the skit. But like I said, the skits don't matter in here. But that context that we're given through the skit, I am gonna cognitize. And then the drums come in, and RZA has a really hard verse, but it's one of the weaker on the projects, I feel like. I'm going to put this up in a B, I feel like. That may change. I may go through these and change them as we go, but I feel like a B is a good place for this. This next track here, Wake Up, the first single to the album. It's hard, it doesn't completely stand out, but I must say the more I listen to the album, the more I like it. Like I said, it was the first single for the album, so I overplayed the fuck out of it, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like it upon full album release. However, I do. I'm going to put Wake Up in B as well. Maybe a little bit better than Cruisin'. I don't know. They're about even, actually. Now we got Lightsabers, the last single to the album. Oh my god. The flow switches, the beat switches, the content switches are incredible. Castro's verse, takes place back in the day. Logic is breaking the fourth wall by saying he's going to go back in time and hand the mic to his bro. And we get that context through the skit as well. And the verse. This is a great track. S. Lightsabers is S, one of the best tracks on the album. Next here we have Clone Wars 3, and the title entails, Logic talking about like clones and, competition in the rap game, how he was trying to be these other rappers, now he's trying to be him, and I really, really like the instrumental on this. I really do like it. I'm not sure exactly where this is going to land. For now, I'm feeling like an A on it. It's a little bit shorter. Actually, I almost want to go B with it, because it just doesn't stand out, and I know I feel like I'm being harsh right now, but hey, we gonna get into the rest of the tracks, and you're gonna see. I might put this in B. Yeah, I feel like this is B. Next here we got Pill VII. Now, Logic is rapping his ass off, the beat switches, the flow switches, he's going crazy. I will say the beginning of the track kind of talks more about like a cognitive subject, and then the rest of the track is kind of Logic just rapping for the sake of rapping. That's my only gripe with it. However, it is great. It is great. I'm going to put it in A. I'm going to put this shit in A. A is cool with me. I'm going to put that shit in A. Next, we got Playwright featuring Andy Hull. It's very Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? It's very, it's upbeat. I said this was one of my least favorites going through the album originally, and I don't want to say that. I just think it's good. It's a little bit better than good. C is like mid to me. Anything above C is like good. B is like good. A is great. S is like perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put Playwright up in B. I'm sorry. I'm sorry here. I'm fucking sorry. I wish Logic had another verse. Andy Hull did great on it. I wish it was longer. It's some of these tracks like Clone Wars 3, Playwright, they're a little bit too short, and then some tracks go on for like ever and have all these different like switches and stuff like Red Pill and Lightsabers. That's why they're higher. So it's not necessarily like the song is bad. I just feel like there should be more to it. You know what I'm saying? Next here, Gaithersburg Freestyle. Now, if you know me and you've been following my socials, you know how I feel about this track. Instant S. Everyone snap. Fat Trel said slime. He said the word slime on a Logic song. He went fucking crazy for, I don't even know how many bars, but he had the longest verse on here, and he went wild. Next here we got Insipio. this kind of suffers the same thing with Playwright. You know, it's just that Logic verse and that's it, and then the rest is Lucy Rose talking. I'm not going to count that as a skit because there's instrumental in the back. I'm just talking about like the skits without instrumentals, because that second instrumental is fucking crazy. One of the highlights of the album, even though Logic is not even vocalizing over it. It's just that smooth. So I'm going to put this up an A. I think this gets the A, honestly. Next here we got Self-Medication featuring Seth MacFarlane, Statik, Selektah, and Redman. This song's been blowing up. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's like,
oh my god, Seth MacFarlane sounds like Frank Sinatra.
Like, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And it's on a Logic track with Redman and Statik, Selektah on Rap Caviar in 2023. It's a wild timeline. This track is such a highlight. It's just so good. Like, listening back, it's like the fucking chops from Statik, Selektah, you know what I'm saying? The samples, the background vocals, the ad-libs from Logic and Redman throughout, and then you get that fucking beautiful fucking Seth MacFarlane vocalization bridge over this crazy boom bap instrumental. This is an S. It's an S. What else is there to say? It's an S. Now, this next track here, we got Shimmy featuring Joey Badass. This shit's hard. This shit is hard. Now, a lot of people have been saying they're not the biggest fan of Shimmy, and like the Joey verse, they feel like it was phoned in, or they feel like Logic wasn't trying too hard. Now, listen, if you see Joey Badass and Logic on a track, you would probably expect some like spiritual miracle, lyrical, individual, boom bap, sample shit. Everyone thought Statik Selektah feature was going to be on this track. Because of that, he wasn't. This is a banger. It's a slapper, and it has the sample from ODB himself. You know, it's called Shimmy, off the sample of the song Shimmy Shimmy Yeah from Old Dirty Bastard. He's talking about him on the song. You know, the hook is literally taken from that track. Joey's from New York, ODB's in New York, you know, Joey talks about ODB. It's nice. It's nice. It's a collab I've been waiting for like a decade at this fucking point. So I'm gonna say it. This shit's an S. Shimmy's an S. I know that's gonna be some controversy, I don't fucking care. It's an S to me. It's fucking S. Next here we got Paradise 2 featuring Norah Jones. And the bass on this is just like, I know that's why he called it Paradise 2, because he heard that bass and he was like, damn, this kind of some Paradise shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's very good. I think it's one of Logic's strongest verses on the album, and I really like Norah Jones' performance on here. It's super catchy. This might be another S. This might be, fuck it. You know, fuck it. That Paradise 2 is an S. Fuck it. Next, we got Come On Down, featuring Jordan Bo Harris, Logic's bodyguard himself. And this one is hard. It's one of the harder tracks on here. I feel like the mixing's a little weird on it. I will say that's one of the things I noticed. I'm not the type of guy to notice like mixing issues and stuff, really. There's some mixing issues on Shimmy also I'd like to add. That is something I've noticed, like the little compression you hear, like your ears pop like twice in the track during the hook. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But the 808s don't really hit that hard on Come On Down. But I do think it's a good track. I really like the subject matter, selling your soul, music industry, all that shit. I think that's very important. And I like that Logic's touching on that because I feel like he felt like a part of himself did that. He gets more into that on the track Lightyear, but this track ties into those verses on Lightyear because of that. So I'm going to put Come On Down in A. I'm A. Next we got Village Slum. Now damn, this is like a personal, like, fucking, it's sad, you know what I'm saying? It's very short, but it's very to the point. The verse, it's super short. It's a super short track, excluding the skit. But Logic touches on some really sensitive subjects. I'm not going to lie, on some really dark subjects about addiction and his family's history and how, you know, he takes care of himself now and how he looks at his substance abuse now. So I think it's good. I don't know if it's deserving of that S. I know people fucking love this track, but I don't know if it's deserving of that S for me. You know, samples that Mad Lib track, which I love. I'm going to put it up in A. I think A is a good place for it. Next, we got Highlife. Now, I'm going to just be blunt. Least favorite track on the album. I talked about this in my review. Least favorite track. I did like the single when it came out, but the more I listened to it, and especially within the context of the album, and especially knowing the track it replaced, called 10th Dimension, on the College Park excerpt skit, it's like, what the fuck? You know, I get, you know, Logic, he has to have those pop tracks. He always does. You know, he's that guy. You know, he did pop rap for years. You know, he has to capitalize on that, and a lot of his fans, you know, they do go towards that, and a lot of them are like his, even people who aren't his fans, a lot of people go to that music. A lot of the pop fans go to that who aren't even in the rap scene, so I see why he did it. It's just not my favorite. The verses are really short too. Oh, I don't want to be harsh and put it in a D. I could be harsh and do that shit though. I could be. Yeah, I'll be harsh. I'm sorry, Logic. I'll be a little harsh maybe. And next here we have this coordinate track. You know, it's basically the title track. There's the coordinates to College Park. Underrated. I talked about it in my review. It's underrated. A lot of people, it's not a highlight to them. And to me, it's like Castro snapped on this. Lenbo snapped on this. That beat is crazy, like a little squeaky toy sample, and I love it. And the intro is fucking hard. So this is good. This is a good track to me. no complaints about this track, really. We gonna put it up in A. Next here we got Ayo featuring Bun B Lil Keke. And I will say I wish Lil Keke actually had a verse. He's just reusing the Knocking Doors Down re-recording that he used on No Pressure for Man I Is. But I respect it because Bun B had a very nice verse. It's very chill. I think Logic's singing is actually really good on this. And I'm kind of torn on this track because it really was one of my least favorites. But now that I'm thinking about it, and the more I've been listening to this since my review, I'm kind of fucking with it a little bit more. So I'll put this up in B. I think B's good. B's cool for that. And now, last track here, Lightyear. What the fuck? Man, in my review I said, I think this is my favorite Logic outro ever. And excluding, of course, like I was saying, excluding that skit in the middle of the track that splits up the track, we got 4 different beats in here, 3 in the beginning and that ending, and just the way it contextualizes, Logic, the first verse, talking about how he's never going to change, never going to sell out, tying back to Come On Down and the themes and that, and then it switches, and then he's talking about, you thought, and then he talks about how he did sell out, he did do it for money, he did go pop, but he did it for social reasons, spreading love, peace, love, and positivity, so his family can eat for generations and generations, and now he ain't doing that shit no more. He did a little bit with Highlife, which is why it's in the D, which is fine. I want him to make whatever music he fucking wants. I'm honestly ready for another trap project from Logic. I don't want to say like a Bobby Tarantino 4 cliche, but if he did some trap shit, I'm fucking with that. I'm waiting for that. So I don't want to make it like putting him in a box or anything. It is something I'm taking away. You get that third beat on Lightyear, which is Rigor Mortis sample. It's the sample used by Rigor Mortis. It's not actually sampling Rigor Mortis by Kendrick, but holy shit, his flow on that is fucking wild. I can't believe that shit got cleared. And then the outro, talking about how he's going to do different things in his independent career. He was retired for a light year, less than a year after No Pressure, you know what I'm saying? And it's fire. It's fire. One of my favorite singing performances from Logic. My favorite outro from Logic. Some of my favorite verses and themes from Logic on an outro. This is going up in S. Come on now. This is going up in S. And boom. I'm looking at this. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking right now. I don't really have any gripes or complaints. Yeah, this is good. As you can see, it's a pretty good album. Every song I'd say is good or better. Apart from Highlife, I put that below mid, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's that great of a track in my personal opinion. And of course, like I just said, this is my opinion, but let me know what you guys think about my tier list. This tier list will be linked in the description down below and in the pinned comment. So make sure you check that out. Make your own tier list. Tweet them at me. Follow my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok. Get that new Music Friday playlist in the description below. And yeah, it's been Bryce. Peace.
Can I picture little Bobby, just a young run around with his bands, hammer in his hand, feeling like a man. Run for the pole, get the gun, put it in your brain like goddamn. Put it in your brain like goddamn. I hear him calling.